So sex addiction is basically just a bad habit. It's kind of like, chewing your fingernails. When you do it enough, your body gets to know it, it learns it, it likes it, and then somehow it'll get you to go and do it again, depending on, the circumstances that you're in. So, you can get away from, a bad habit, but the problem is most people don't know how to do that. And so in order to learn those skills, something really important that you need to know is that sex addiction or bad habits have a purpose, and the purpose is to get you to feel good, right? Everybody wants to feel good, and sex is probably the highest emotional, intense, positively intense experience that you can have without drugs, So your body likes that and thinks that sex is what will produce happiness and joy in your life. The problem is it doesn't, at least not long term. So it's kind of like this imposter of happiness, but true happiness is enduring, and sex addiction, happiness or pleasure, ends. And it also creates this negativity, afterwards. So anybody who acts out knows that after they act out, they're full of shame and guilt, and it causes problems in their marriage or at work, or, they get arrested. So sex addiction is just followed by this dark cloud in your life. So that's number one. That's really important to understand, is that there's a purpose to sex addiction, which is getting you to feel good. Two other things that are really important to understand is that, number one, your thought processes are also something that keeps the sex addiction cycle going. Because you believe that sex is the answer, you return to sex over and over and over again. And it's not just sex. You believe that external things are what brings you joy and happiness. So there's this seeking for external experiences that you believe are going to cause internal joy. And the problem with that is that external things can never create happiness. It's what you think about external things. So what you think is internal and will create happiness internally. So we work on changing our thoughts, because our thoughts are internal. And as we change our thoughts, no matter what the experience is externally, we can learn to be joyful. And the more we learn to do that, not that anybody's perfect at it, because they're just not, but the more they learn how to manipulate their thoughts and experience joy internally, the less external seeking we are, which helps to resolve sex addiction. The second thing that's really important to understand is, because we're dealing with emotions, we need to learn to become tolerant of negativity. So there are just experiences that naturally are going to be uncomfortable to us. And the sex addict, when he or she experiences negativity or emotions and experiences that are uncomfortable, they tend to seek out that which is comfortable. And in their mind, because they've got sex conditioned so much into their body, they'll tend to turn towards sexual behaviors. And so what we learn to do through meditation practices is become acclimated to discomfort and become okay with discomfort. The more we're able to tolerate discomfort, the less likely it is for us to act out in sexual behaviors that are going to just cause more problems in our life.